Godzilla 2 didn't suck, Sarah. Not as much as Godzilla 1. Fucking cat hair. Good kitchen. Godzilla 2 really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. I mean, I walked in expecting nothing, because the 2014 movie was one of the most boring fucking things I've ever seen. So I walked into this one, I was just like, alright, just get the visuals right this time, get Godzilla right, get the fights right, get the music right, and they did. And that's all I wanted. And I could just forgive everything else. So Godzilla, King of the Monsters is not the disaster the awful 2014 film was. Though it is a direct sequel. It's actually as good a monster movie as anyone could have hoped for. And seems to be more in line and true to the original spirit of the Japanese kaiju films. Just as John Wick 3 acknowledged how terrible John Wick 2 was, so did the filmmakers for King of the Monsters openly show how truly bad the first movie was. They took to heart the rightful criticism that Godzilla was never on screen, nor any of the monster fights. Like, he had, 3 minutes of screen time, whatever the number is, and then they just kept cutting away from him every time he was there. Back to those boring-ass humans. Now the monsters are all on screen, all the time, and it's epic to see. There were several shots that had me smiling long after they ended, and some of the wides are as grand scale and magnificent as Gandalf and the Balrog falling through Moria. This movie kinda rocks, in its own way. The events unfold 5 years after 2014, now that the world knows and has seen the existence of monsters. Godzilla has disappeared in that time. But other creatures, dubbed Titans, now begin rising from the earth. Later on, the movie explains that they were the original gods, and were nature's way of balancing humanity. But the humans. Of course, they're going to be useless in a movie like this. But not as boring or useless as they were in Godzilla 1. Emma, who's played by Vera Farmiga, works for an organization called Monarch, who track down the Titans outside of government interference. There are Senate hearings discussing how to keep Monarch in check, and reveal what they know about the location and number of living Titans. The dialogue actually isn't as bad as you might think it is, although the characters spend a lot of time talking about things they're about to do. But Emma, along with Mark, who's played by Kyle Chandler, and Madison, played by Millie Bobby Brown, all lost a family member in the carnage of the battle Godzilla had in the first movie. It was their son Andrew, and it caused them to separate, and Emma to dedicate her years keeping the Titans in check. Or so she says. She's created a device she calls Orca, which emits frequencies that the Titans can hear. She mixed Godzilla's roars with some other things to communicate with the creatures. A turn in the story thereafter shows her real intentions, which I thought was pretty neat. Mark wants all the Titans, including Godzilla, dead. Emma wants to awaken them all to restore order in the world. Human beings are the real enemy. She's teamed up with Charles Dance and a bunch of eco-terrorists to get the job done. In one scene, right before the Titan Ghidorah is woken up from the ice of Antarctica, daughter Madison sees her dad Mark for the first time in years. The movie has her choose to stay with mom or go to dad. It's during this, action scene where the eco-terrorists are confronted by the government, and they're trying to free King Ghidorah, and there's gunshots, and then about to be an explosion, and for a few seconds, the sounds of chaos are muted. Mark's words fall deaf on her, and she only hears Emma call her name. First she's like, Maddie, and then Madison, and then she immediately, is almost brainwashed, goes back to the mom. Get it? It's like she's the human Orca controlling her child with her voice frequency. They did a thing, because she's like a monster. She's like a monster. The human dynamics were never going to be a strong suit of a movie like this. Everyone else delivers quick explanations of actions and one-liners. Oh yeah, the comedy that's there, it almost never works. There's some side character named Sam. He's pretty bad. The film's edits on all the jokes just don't work, and it puts people out of focus that shouldn't be during certain punchlines. I think I laughed once from all the attempts at humor. The timing is just way off. I don't know what was going on there. I expected this movie to be fast-paced. The average shot length doesn't run too short, but the average scene length does. The movie bounds around scene to scene at breakneck speed. I think if you measure the average scene length must be a minute or so. I'm telling you, it is not fucking around. Just absolutely nuts. And a lot of them transition to an ambush or explosion or some sort of damaging chaos and use the sound of that to take us there. But it's okay, because Godzilla gets so much screen time. And he's never boring. He's such a G. Rocking such a mean and nasty look, but always on the side of good, protecting humanity. You can't help but love the benevolent beast. Every time he shows up, you just want to cheer him on. His fights with King Ghidorah are awesome. Worthy of anyone just wanting to see two legends battle. Ghidorah is the other apex predator, and he can control all the titans on the planet with his screams. He also shoots yellow electricity from his 3 heads and can fly. Holy shit! It's just so fucking awesome, because all the titans are from Earth except for Ghidorah, which he fell from the sky. He's an alien from another planet, from what they describe. It's just really cool. It's just really mythic shit. The sounds of King of the Monsters are incredible. Each titan with their own unique voice. Wonderful and frightening work developed by a talented sound design team. And the music this time around is so much better, and has chilling new themes to elevate the already great imagery. It works amazingly well for the fights, and the birth of Mothra. I can't believe how fun it is to watch this movie at times. What's interesting is that Godzilla 2 gets better as it goes along. All the worst parts are at the beginning, and I thought for sure Kyle Chandler was going to give a bad performance this time around. He's usually a great actor, but those opening scenes threw me off completely. The movie has opened to a pretty mediocre debut at the box office. Close to half the opening numbers of the 2014 movie. Gee, I wonder why? Maybe that movie was so bad it killed people's hype for a sequel. Could it be that people finally realized they were fools to ever defend a film as boring as that? Gareth Edwards' work on that movie is shameful, and he would go on to repeat many of his same mistakes in the trashy Rogue One. His characters always seem trapped in an uninteresting play they cannot escape from. But thank God in return for this one, Godzilla 2 was directed this time around by Michael Dougherty, who also has a writing credit. He's the guy who made Krampus, which I never saw, but he has an eye for epic setups, and he has made a movie that is true to its roots just about all the way through. Godzilla, King of the Monsters is a flawed movie, because of course it is, but it's a masterpiece compared to the 2014 one. And once again, the dumb critics and YouTubers have decided this movie is bad, even though they largely recommended the first one. It's pure lunacy at this point. It just keeps happening, man. This movie has better fights, better music, better humans, and better Godzilla! It has cheesy and campy elements, sure. And maybe you won't care at all about Maddie or any of the cast. But you will care about the monsters. You'll care about the touching relationship the magical Mothra and Godzilla have. And the heartfelt moment between Ken Watanabe and Godzilla himself. And the visuals are all on point, though a bit silly at first. They kick into overdrive by the end. I can't believe how epic it gets. The movie connects to Kong Skull Island, which I also never saw. If this monster universe is to continue, after the post-credits scene it probably will, I hope we get more movies like this one. And pray that garbage like the 2014 one never again makes it to the screen. King of the Monsters is a fun ride. Good as a film, great as a monster movie. It's just funny how fucking hypocritical people are. I mean, the trailers for this Godzilla movie, whether you cared for them or not, were better than the 2014 film. All of the trailers, I mean, honestly. God, that movie was so bad. I hated every fucking minute of that film. Well, just about every minute. This one just completely redeems that one, honestly. Godzilla's fucking awesome. When you go to see this movie, you're really going to see a Godzilla film. In fact, there's that fucking meme. I got that picture. Oh my god, I saved it somewhere. Where is it? Let me pull it up. Here it is. It's that scene from Infinity War between Eastry, Peter Dinklage, and Thor. Is it a good Godzilla movie? Only if you like more monster battles than human drama. Yes, that's what a good Godzilla movie means. It's perfect. It's exactly right. These fucking idiots who gave positive reviews to the first movie, you fucking hypocrites. That movie sucked dick. This movie's pretty awesome. Yes, it's got problems. You're allowed to hate it as long as you hated the first movie, but you can't like the first movie and then hate this one, because then you're a fucking idiot. But, it's totally fine if you don't like Godzilla 2. I can understand people not liking it. I thought it was fucking epic as shit. Forgave all the goofy humans shit and dumbness to it. but I thought it was the right kind of dumbness. It's a Godzilla movie. You're expecting cool visuals, you're expecting good action, you're expecting good, decent pacing, and a fun ride and music. And honestly, I fucking loved Mothra, you know? She was the real MVP. Mothra was the real MVP. The fact that I shed a tear for a fucking moth tells you that this movie is an effective piece. I fucking shed a tear for a moth, people! But yeah, if you're going to go see a Godzilla movie, this is a Godzilla movie. This is a Godzilla movie. A great monster film.